Go.
I'm Teresa Norris.
I'm Ashayra Broussard.
I'm Jessica Lappin.
Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. This is a quote from Albert Einstein found on bradyquote.com. I'm going to start off by explaining the different sources I used for my research, which include bradyquote.com, viewfood.com, andsnuclearcafe.org, reference.com, biography.com, and philosophicallibrary.com. So howdy, my name is April Armstrong, and I'm here to honor Mr. Albert Einstein, which is one of the most influential physicists of the 20th century. This is due to his superior accomplishment, which is demonstrating the existence of the atom, his ability to overcome obstacles, which is overcoming the suppression of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, and his benefit to society, which was ultimately his development of the general theory of relativity. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. This is a quote from Albert Einstein found on bradyquote.com, and this is a picture of Albert Einstein found on viewfood.com. So first I'm going to talk about the existence of the atom. So Albert Einstein had the superior accomplishment of demonstrating the existence of the atom. In 1905, he mathematically proved the existence of atoms and thus helped revolutionize all of the sciences through the use of statistics and probability. Atomic theory says that any liquid is made up of molecules, which were invisible in 1905. Furthermore, these molecules are always in random, kind of ceaseless motion, and the average behavior of molecules produces the overall properties of any liquid that we observe. But Einstein realized that this random chaos of jostling atoms was invisible, and he was able to produce statistical fluctuations and prove that there was an existence of atoms. And this is from andsnuclear.org. Next, he also proved the formula of E equals mc squared, and this was a foreshadowing of the development of atomic power. It basically said that the masses of atoms contained enormous amounts of energy, and suggested that tiny particles of matter could be converted into huge amounts of energy. And this is why it connected to atomic power. However, these discoveries were only tangentially connected with nuclear power and nuclear warfare. And this was found on reference.com. In 1939, Einstein and fellow physicist Leo Szilard were interested in writing to President FDR, so Franklin D. Roosevelt, to alert him of the possibility of a Nazi bomb and to galvanize the United States and to create its own nuclear weapons to be able to defend themselves. The U.S. would eventually initiate the Manhattan Project, though Einstein would not take direct part in its implementations because of his pacifist and socialist affiliations. And this is from biography.com. So, the release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. This is another quote from Albert Einstein from bradyquotes.com. So next, I'm going to talk about his ability to overcome the obstacle of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. So, Einstein was a child born to an immigrant family, Jewish family, of modest means. Einstein used his platform as the leading scientist and intellectual of the 20th century to speak eloquently on the importance of the education, human rights, and nuclear disarmament and peace. So he wasn't directly involved into nuclear warfare, but helped the development of said warfare. And this is from reference.com. Einstein himself was actually targeted by the Nazis and to be killed. He was traveling and speaking internationally, and the Nazis, led by Adolf Hitler, were gaining prominence with violence, propaganda, and cruelty in the impoverished post-World War I Germany. The party influenced other scientists to label Einstein's work as Jewish physics, and this made it be where Jewish citizens were barred from the university work and other official jobs. And Einstein himself, again, was targeted to be killed, and so he was able to actually get out of Germany and go to the United States and escape their suppression. And this is from biography.com. And the world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. This is another quote from Albert Einstein and found on brainyquotes.com. Lastly, I want to talk about the general theory of relativity. So in November of 1915, Einstein completed the general theory of relativity, which he kind of constructed and considered accumulation of his life research. He was convinced of the merits of general relativity because it allowed for a more accurate prediction of planetary orbits around the sun, which fell short of Isaac Newton's theories, and for a more expansive, nuanced explanation of how gravitational forces worked. 6 years later, in 1921, he was actually a winner of the Nobel Prize. And this is from biography.com. So the general theory of relativity, as well as his other feats, had direct and lasting impacts on modern technology and innovations and changed the way that humans lived. So examples such as CD players, televisions, computers, and global positioning satellites, which are GPSs, are just a few of the modern conveniences whose development was made possible by Einstein's intellectual breakthroughs and his feats. And this is from reference.com. Einstein's belief was, through his general development of the theory, he held on to the belief that the universe was a fixed, static entity, aka a cosmological constant. Through his later theories directly contradicted his ideas and asserted that the universe could be in a state of flux. Astronomer Edwin Hubble deduced that we indeed inhabit an expanding universe, and with the two, they actually met in 1930 at Mount Wilson Observatory near Los Angeles. And this is also from biography.com. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning. And this is from Albert Einstein and found on brainyquote.com. So in closing, I am here to honor Mr. Albert Einstein in the fact that he was such an amazing scientist and theorist and physicist and one of the most influential of the 20th century. And I want to honor him because of his superior accomplishments of demonstrating the existence of an atom, his ability to overcome obstacles including the suppression of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, and his benefit to society, which is the development of the general theory of relativity. So, again, this is a picture of Albert Einstein, and it's from philosophicallibrary.com. And I hope that with this ceremonial speech, I have shed some light on the novelty of the man that was Albert Einstein. He was an extraordinary human being, and his contributions have changed the way that we as humans live. Einstein will be remembered for hundreds of thousands of years to come, and I hope that now you have more information on the amazing man that he was. Thank you.